I have a story for you today.
Oh, how pleasant.
So, indeed, sir. Fine, sir.
Oh, how etiquette-ly of you.
Etiquetely, yes, I am. So, anyways, I'm driving a truck for work, whatever, at night, yada yada yada, graveyard. That's the gist of it. Anyways, so
Good
I'm
story.
I'm low on fuel, so I go to a gas station because that's where you go to fuel. To
Some would say that's the only place you could go.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, so I get there, and I haven't even I just got out of my truck, just got out, and this guy approaches me, and I'm like, oh great, you know what I mean?
He starts talking to you.
And he's like,
He's like, can you go with me with the or can you go with me to the bathroom? I need someone to talk to.
I wish, because then I could have just said no. The guy was like, hey, he's like, can you give me some food?
Figures.
Yeah. So, I just got out of my truck, and the guy came up to me, and so I'm like, something from the gas station or whatever, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, what do you want? And he was like, nachos, and so I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll buy this guy nachos. You know what I mean? He's like, he's like, I haven't eaten in 2 days, and so I was like, oh, that's rough,
Too bad.
that's insane, So.
Liar.
So this is where the problem gets. This is what hits me. What bothers me is he's still standing there. I was like, hey, I'm gonna fill up the truck first, and then I can get you those nachos. So I'm I'm filling up the tank, and he just kind of stands there, and he's still trying to talk to me and stuff. He's bringing up small talk, and in his conversation with me, he says. He's like, oh yeah, in about 40 minutes, I have to go to work. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. You're either lying about one of these things. You're either lying that you haven't ate in 2 days, or you're lying about your job. Because that's priority number one. If
Right?
you have a job, you pay
Money for food.
Food. You know what I mean? Food, water, whatever. That's number one. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So I'm figuring he's lying. He's lying about one of these things. Okay. And then after he says oh, I have work in 40 minutes. He's like, can I have a ride? This is where I say, probably not, because I'm in a company vehicle. That's what I told him. So anyways, I fill up, I go inside, and I go to the cashier guy, and I'm like, hey, can I pay for that guy's nachos, whatever? And he's like, if that's what you want to do. So I'm like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. So it was $270. It's I don't know.
Big deal.
It's no big deal. But I don't know. You know how when you do something nice for somebody that's in need, whatever, you're supposed, you know what I mean? You feel good about it, you're supposed to, and all this stuff. Is there something wrong with me? Because afterwards, I just kept thinking dude, that guy, he has to be lying about his job or the food.
He's a chump.
That's what I thought.
That's totally normal.
That's all I could think of.
Okay, well, the first day I started working at my new job here in this city, I drove back, got off that off ramp to go on Anderson Road. Okay, and then I saw this guy. He was just standing there with a sign said he lost his job, and I was like, oh, that's too bad. And I looked over on my seat and had a bottle of water, and it was hot. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna use this. This guy can have my bottle of water. So I drive
Let me guess.
up to him. I throw the bottle of water at him. No, he took it.
Oh, okay.
He took it. But this is the thing. Right after that, I was like, well, the guy's got water now. He's just standing there waiting for, food and water and money. So I guess I just hydrated him a little bit. I sustained his life a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was the only feeling I had. I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel bad about it. I was like, whatever. Every day I come home, without a doubt, unless he's taking a sick day or something, I don't know what it is, he's always there. And just recently, he changed his sign. He didn't lose his job. Now it says he's homeless. So either he's progressing towards being comfortable without being a home, and everybody is just literally feeding him, taking care of him so that he can stand there every day and have a useless life, literally useless life. Or he's just deranged for some reason. He can't figure out how to get his 2 feet on the ground and start looking for a job again. Rather than that, he spends his time during rush hour when everybody's coming home mooching. So I don't give that guy anything anymore. It doesn't matter, because the longer he stays there and the more people give him, the more of an incentive he has to keep coming back. It doesn't help at all. Well, there's no benefit.
Okay, this is my thing. I don't care if someone's on the corner of a street with a sign, whatever, and like they're like asking for things, whatever. Like when, like whenever me and Sid go out for a restaurant, whatever, she always has leftovers, you know, so she gets a box, right. And we'll like on the way home,
she'll find
like
some.
Sometimes, no, we don't like search for some like them, you know, but like sometimes, like if you just happen to pass them on the road, whatever, like sometimes we'll just like give our leftovers to them. And like I feel fine, like I feel like, oh, like that was a good thing.
Cool.
Like
it's a good way to use leftovers.
That's not why like I didn't feel good. Like I felt like uneasy about this guy like afterwards, because he approached me. It wasn't like he was on a corner
just waiting.
And like
yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like you go up to them and give them something. Like
first sketchy moment, he comes.
First
to
off, he comes up to like me, which is like a problem because it's like I'm in like I just started like my work, you know what I mean? Like I need, you know, and so it's like I'll buy you something, that's fine, but like, and then like I don't know, it's so different.
Yeah. Oh, on that, with people coming up to you, there's another story, a little tangent. We'll come back to you in a little bit, but before I forget, there was this one time I took Thais, my wife, to 7-Eleven. We went to go get Slurpees or something, you know, just for fun. So I get out of the car and I walk over to the other side to take her out. And I notice when I'm walking over to her side, there's a bum. He's got a shopping cart, you know, and everything. He's walking over to my car to, you know, her. And before he, like right when he starts opening his mouth, I didn't know what he was going to say, but he was walking up to me and I was getting my wife out. I'm a pretty protective dude and she's a babe. So everything in my head is just like, back up, dude. And I think I literally said back up or back off. I'm getting my wife out of my car or something. Because he was approaching me, you know, not stopping. He was literally in touching distance of my car when I told him, back up, back off. And then he got all offended. And then we kind of argued right there. And he's like, I was just coming over to pick up this trash or something like that. Some bull crap. I come out of 7-Eleven again, and the dude was like super obnoxious and super mad. And when we get back in the car, he's like cussing at me and flipping me the bird. And he's like walking at the car while I'm driving away. I pull out, go to the intersection. He's still walking towards the Jeep. He's like entering the road, coming at the Jeep, like flipping me off and cussing me out. It was so bad. So yeah, people approaching you while you're, you know, minding your own business is not cool. Yeah. Anyways, back to you. Sorry.
I don't know. Basically, like, I don't like it when people approach me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm the same way.
I'll help people out. That's fine. Like, I have no problem with that. It's just when like people like approach me and ask for something. It's just like, I don't know. I don't like it. You feel like you like have to do it, or you feel obligated, or like I don't know. It's just like
they put you in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah,
because you were just minding your own business, and all of a sudden, as a human, you have to respond to them and treat them as an individual. You know,
and they should definitely
a person on the side of the road.
Like if they are like, you know, people have like some rough luck. People go through some rough things, and you're like homeless and you're on their side. That's fine, but like you should definitely be trying to like get a job and stuff, like, you know, work towards it. You can't just like you said, this guy was there every day. Like, you can't do that. Like, you can't just be like, this can't be your job.
He's been there for 6 months every day.
Yeah, that's
like I could understand maybe one day, like, crap, this is the worst of the worst. We're literally out of money. We haven't eaten for a couple of days. I've been trying to find a job. We have nowhere to go. We have no family, no friends. Everybody's dead. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the side of the road and try my best. You know, try my luck. And then after I've filled my stomach again, I'm going to go for, you know, a week without eating. I'll drink from the pond or the river water or whatever that I can find, you know. I will survive, but I will get back up off my feet, you know. I'm going to figure it out. I'm not just going to bum the rest of my life away.
Well,
I'm so irritated for you, man.
Yeah, this has been a very cheerful
This has been a soapbox moment brought to you by Twilight Noobs.
Anyways, all right, so Let's get on with this show. All right, so we're gonna be going over chapters 18 and 19. We're getting close to the end of this book.
Finally.
I think there's like 24 chapters, you said, an epilogue?
24 plus an epilogue, yep.
So we are, what is it? So this week is 18 and 19. Next week will be 20 and 21. Then 22, 23. 24 in the epilogue. So we have like, what, 4 or 5 weeks left? Like, of this book?
You're terrible at math.
I was saying it, and then I forgot how many I said. So 2021, 22, 23, 24. Oh, that's 3 weeks.
There you go.
Right. I said it, and I was like, oh, I forgot to like count like
4 or 5.
Yeah. 3. All right. 3. So.
2, 3. Right when you said 3, I heard the exact same thing.
Monty Python. I could quote that.
What's up with Monty
day.
Python? Well, of course you can. Every nerd in the world can. Almost every line from that movie is a quote.
If you haven't seen that movie, you have to go and see it.
Like my wife.
Anyways, we've kind of like we've postponed this long enough. Like, we really need to get into this. And something that bugs me about podcasts is when people don't get to the, you know what I'm talking about? Like, get to their content quick enough. Like, they just get to the content. Like, they'll sit there for like 15 minutes going off about something, and then I'm like, okay, like, now let's get into it. Like, that bothers me. So
what we just did bothers you?
Yeah. If
really?
someone else does it in another podcast, like, I want them to get to the content. Like, that's what I'm there for. But anyways,
I don't really listen to any other podcasts, so I don't know how it really goes.
Dude, that's what I strive. Dude, I just, man, work and podcast, man, it's the best. Like, it gets me, I don't know.
Really?
Work goes by so much quicker when I listen to podcasts. Oh yeah.
Man, work and heavy metal. That's what gets me by.
I do music sometimes, like if I just want a different pace. But
yeah, it's
anyway,
all good. To each their own.
Chapters 18 and 19. I don't think we got any more reviews this week, so you guys are seriously just dead to us.
Yep. I don't even know why we do this podcast anymore.
We're just like, we're doing good with like downloads. We're higher than ever. Like, we're doing awesome, but reviews. You guys need to step it up.
Maybe all these people that are listening to us just don't want to give a review because they have nothing good to say.
If we don't have 2 new reviews this week, we're officially quitting the podcast.
No, we're starting a new podcast. We're gonna name it "Why People Don't Review Podcasts.com." Yeah.
Yep, exactly. All right, here we go. Chapter 18, The Funeral. So you're
dude, finally the clock. The clock!
Oh, I know, we finally get to the clock.
I really wanted to get into that. I was like, oh, the clock! Yeah! Finally, we understand why.
Something had to happen, like, soon. It's like the end of the book. Like, we were like, okay, like, something's got to get going here, you know?
Yep.
I think Stephanie Meyer has a problem, I feel like, with, like...
establishing?
Bringing in, like, the intense, like plot, or, like, bringing... Like, you know what I mean? Like... It's not gradual, like, at all, it feels like. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's so, like, all of a sudden, like chaos. Like, stuff's going on.
Or something.
It's so weird. I think she needs to do a better job with, like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole book was about Jacob and Bella, and then all of a sudden, like, let's just make it up all about the Colons. You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This book is still better than the first one, for sure. But
is it though?
Yes, it is. It is so much better. That first one
the only difference is
awful at the beginning of it.
Well, the first one just had a bunch
ending.
of like love. It was just like, oh my gosh, he's so cute in his face.
The beginning of it was Bella and Edward like developing their relationship, and then the last 2 chapters, they fight James, and then they don't even go over the fight. It's just Bella's in the hospital. Like, it was the worst book ever. It was so bad.
It's just a girl story.
This one, at least there's way more to it. It's like, the first one was, plus Jacob's better than Edward, so.
I don't buy that, man.
Edward,
don't buy that.
Edward is going, okay, we find out in the next chapter, okay, this is kind of a spoiler, but, like, he's going to, like, go and just, like, commit suicide.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? Like, Jacob would not do that. Come on.
No, because Jacob's got things to do.
Committing suicide is not cool.
No, Jacob can build a car. Edward can't build a car, so Jacob has a little bit more reason to live. Edward is just a lover boy. He's just, I must have my true love that I forced myself to leave. Drama.
Let me put my tongue down thy throat.
Shall we do the French kiss now, my love?
Oh, now you okay? Okay, let's go. Chapter 18, the funeral. Okay, so if we remember from last week, Bella and Alice were hanging out. There was a ringing at the door, and Alice was like, "Oh, it's probably Jacob. Like, I should get out of here. I'll be back though." And now, going into the chapter, Bella runs down the stairs, goes to the door, and of course, it is Jacob, like I predicted, because I am the better of the two of us doing this podcast. I declare.
Like I care. I always throw out a BS declaration of who could be at the door. Just saying. That's how much I care about New Moon. Don't even.
Right, you are. All right.
Sorry.
So, Jared and Embry are
Have you
chilling.
noticed your transition into talking in his all right?
All right.
After everything, that's your segue. All right.
All right.
Anyways.
Jared and Embry are chilling in Jacob's rabbit. While Jacob is kind of far away from the door. He doesn't want anything.
The bones.
Jeez, just rabbit just made you think of Mighty Python.
Yep.
Wow. So there's gonna be bones, maybe if Edward gets destroyed. So
One rabbit stew coming up.
they I don't know. Jacob is like he wants nothing to do with the Colons. He wants nothing to do with vampires. He's mad about the fact that Bella's been hanging out with one, or like I don't know.
He says she smells.
And then vice versa. Alice says Jacob smells.
She smells.
So.
No, she also says Bella smells.
Can we all just be like everyone smells and just get on with it?
You
Can we just all be
stink.
friends? We all stink. Like let's just all be friends. All right. We all
Let's
like
take a bubble bath together.
Yes. They'd all have to agree on the smell though. Like, are they gonna do Irish Spring? Are they gonna do a strawberry? Old Spice.
Maybe like a home brew root beer and some menthol or something. I said menthol. I don't even know what menthol is. I just said that.
Speaking of Old Spice, like if my wife is in a hurry for some reason, she'll just like grab my deodorant and put it on. Like why mine? You know what I mean?
Why not? She wants to smell you.
Yeah, but
she'll be like,
that's mine
with me. Yeah, now she's got your pit on her pit.
That's not good.
That can't be healthy.
There's got to be some bacteria. There's got to be some
ringworm,
nasty
parasites,
cooties.
Oh, don't even get me started on the cooties. Jeez, those things are toxic. They actually like get into your eyes. Dang, man, they make you cry. I'm sorry.
So, oh wait, sorry, that's not my segue. All right.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So, basically, Jacob's mad. Bella's mad. Alice isn't there, but she's probably mad. So. He notices, like, there's blankets, there's all this stuff going on. He's like, was there a slumber party here? So
slumber party.
Bella says, yeah, Victoria isn't here. It's Alice Colon. She's just hanging out. Like, I don't know how long she's going to be here for, but she can stay as long as she wants. Like, they start getting all attitude-y with each other. Jacob's all like,
toxic.
Like, where's your friend? Oh, well, I don't like
Does it matter to you?
I don't like having to be here. You know what I mean? Like they just go back and forth, and Bella's like, "Oh, then I'm sorry you had to come. Why don't you tell me what you need so that you can leave?" And like, then this is the funny part here is Jacob's like, "Well, it shouldn't take long. We have to get back for the funeral, you know." Like he's like oof, you know, bringing up this like that's I don't know. It's kind of a sore thing right now, but Bella like still doesn't even care. Like she just goes, "Okay, get over with it. Like,
get back to your dead friend.
Like get over your dead friend. Yeah, your stupid dead friend. Like
your dead friend can't help you now, can he, Jacob?
Where my father is right now, like helping with the funeral. Like I'm here. I'm not doing anything towards that."
Well
Harry
said,
Clearwater, Bella. Who's that old toot face?
Toot faced racist.
I don't know.
It's clan. Just
kidding. It's just like I don't know. They're acting like 5-year-olds in elementary school right now. It's so stupid. I feel like Bella is not 18. based
advanced
off of
relationship.
everything she's done in the first book and this book, she acts more like a 14-year-old, like middle schooler.
To be honest, though, I fight with my wife over the dumbest things. That was a really long yawn. I wonder if anybody else yawned listening to this podcast after that. Leave us a review and say you yawned. I want to know.
It's contagious.
It is contagious.
You get in stupid fights, but like...
I mean, if I look back at it, there's like always these dumb reasons why we're fighting. You know, we'll like go to sleep, you know, not even looking at each other, you know, the whole night. Obviously, the next day we're fine, but it's just like, okay.
I never have fights like this, though, where it's like, well, like, why don't you just leave then? Like, it's
why do you smell so bad?
Like, oh, it shouldn't take long. Like, I don't know. It's so, I don't know. It's middle schooly. But anyways, so.
All right.
They're like arguing, and basically Jacob, the whole point of Jacob being there is he says, well, that's this, he has like a couple things. He says, do you think you could please explain to Alice about Victoria? And we already know that Bella already told Alice all about this.
Yeah, dummy.
His second point is he says, we can't watch you here anymore if any Colon is back, because like this is the Colon's land and we have a treaty with them, so we can't protect you here. We can protect you all day in La Push, but here it has to stop. So Bella seems confident though with this. She's like, oh, it's fine, like Alice, I'm totally protected, you know. And then he does ask, he's like, are any of the Colons coming back? And based off of Alice's responses from the last chapter, it looks like no. There's no plan on the Colons coming back whatsoever. So Jacob, he starts to take off, but Bella notices that the door doesn't ever open. And so they're kind of just like standing there, like Jacob's kind of, I don't know if she can still see him or not, but Jacob he's like hesitating by the kitchen doorway, and when Bella like pulls her hands from her face, she notices that she's crying. So like these two are acting like just like a married couple, like an old married couple, but in middle school, because their fight is stupid. So I don't know.
Interesting comparison. Old middle
a married
school couple
married 14-year-olds
that are in their 80s.
Inception. Boom.
A relationship within a relationship within a relationship. I don't know if I can handle this. How do we get out of this relationship?
We have to kill ourselves.
Yeah. I jumped off a cliff earlier. That's how I knew I wasn't in the relationship. Edward's trying to get out. Inception. Yeah.
Inception.
Noobception.
All right. So, Jacob says, broke my promise. Sorry. So they're starting to like apologize. They got in a stupid fight and they're like, hey, like, let's make up. Come on.
But then could we also analyze how, what's her name? Stephanie, she took the time to put S''OK.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Like she was just trying to make a crying word, I guess is what you'd say it. Or what you'd call it.
You know, like remember like the first book where it would say like hissed, you know, like the person hissed the sentence.
Oh yeah, someone hissed earlier. Oh no, Alice hisses later next chapter.
So like this would have been the perfect. She should have started adding S's to everything. You know what I mean? When she uses the hiss, like so that way it actually is a hissed. You know?
Yeah. Words that don't even have an S even near it, like
okay,
my map.
Let's not worry about it. So I don't know.
That would actually kind of work though. Let's not worry about it.
It's not worry. Yeah, it kind of does. So,
anyways, and then she gets smelled again.
Yeah, they start apologizing, and
that's right. There's another. Is it right here where he says he's begging? No, that's later. There's a couple of those like little jabs at him being a werewolf, where it was like his puppy eyes, and he was begging and stuff like that.
I know Alice calls him a dog or something, or a puppy, but dog, I don't know.
Anyway, but later we'll get to it.
This is the part where it's like, ooh boy, we get some of that sexual tension. We get some of that.
Here it comes.
You know
like this, don't you? Huh? Because the way you're responding to it is like, and over here I'm just like, get it over with.
There's just so much tension. It just makes you feel something, you know?
I don't want to know what you're feeling, okay? Nobody on this podcast cares about what you feel when you read this book.
Like, it's just like, oh, boy.
Okay, we're done. Well, you both smell fine to me. It was a nice catch-22, though. Alice would stay forever, but she can't. Jacob has to stay, but I won't be able to stay with him. What a mess. Anyways, there you go. That's your segue to keep going.
He says, like, I'll always be your friend no matter what you love. So that was kind of an interesting sentence, though. Like, no matter what you love. Like,
right? Not
it's
human.
not who you love, it's what you love. So,
do you like this rock? Do you love this rock, Bella?
Do you love?
I still love you.
Yeah. Hey, so they promise each other that like they're gonna be good from now on. Everything's fine. We're good. Like you said, they're the smelling. So apparently, vampires smell super sweet and icy. So,
to a vamp or to a wolf.
Yeah, so what would you compare that to? Like super fruity, like gum, you know, like that, where you can like, I don't know, it sniffs it and it like burns your nostrils, like something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of something to compare it to.
That zebra gum. You know that zebra gum? Mm-hmm. It's like got that fruit flavors to it or whatever. It lasts for like 10 seconds and then it's gone immediately.
It's like juicy fruit too. Unless it's
juicy fruit too.
Juicy fruit's kind of like that. But it's super sweet and icy. It burns his nose. But she says like, I don't know, Bella basically says that everyone smells good. She thinks Jacob smells good. She thinks Alice smells good. So
it's because she's not developed enough though. She can't tell. She doesn't have those superhuman capabilities of super scent.
Yeah.
It's all her fault.
This is where we get like, oh, okay, here we go. We stared at each other for a long moment. His hand smoldered against my skin. In my face, I knew there was nothing but wistful sadness. I didn't want to have to say goodbye now, no matter for how short a time. Oh, he released me, lifting his other hand to brush his fingertips along my cheek, trailing them down to my jaw. I could feel his fingers tremble. Oh man, dude, Jacob wants something bad, dude. If your fingers are trembling,
he must really want a Twinkie. Because that's definitely what teenage boys want. All they want are Twinkies, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, he pressed his palm against my cheek so that my face was trapped between his burning hands. Oh, like, just the mental images are going down.
Yeah.
Just kiss her already.
When you squeeze someone's cheek just together and make them do the fish lips. Is that what he's doing
exactly what's going on right now.
It's like all awkward.
Then this is where Bella has the mental like struggle. She just goes, "Oh, I haven't made this decision yet. Like, I don't know what to do. Why should I
kiss him? I can't kiss him. Will I kiss him? What will happen if I kiss him?"
In so many real ways, I did love him. Oh, like she's just like, maybe it would be easy, like holding his hand or having his arms around me. Maybe it would feel
same
nice.
Time, you say you'd prefer him as your brother. It's like kissing your brother, Bella.
So this is where I honestly think that Bella would have done it right here. So it says, keeping his eyes on mine, Jacob began to bend his face towards me. Like, Jacob's going in for it. Like, he's, you know, like, it's like Hitch, you know, like the whole 90-10 thing. Like,
really? Is that what you're seeing? I'm seeing, like, a World War II Mustang or something flying down. It's going, it's like coming in for a crash landing. That's all I can see right now. It's just massive mayhem.
You think Bella is just totally going to wreck him? Just like, nope, here?
I was thinking she was going to kiss him, honestly.
That's what I was saying.
But
it sounded like you were disagreeing with me.
It didn't look like a good thing. That's what I was saying. It looked like something bad was about to happen.
What? How could something bad happen here?
Dude, how many times have we seen people start kissing and then they realize that was a bad idea? We don't have that relationship. Now things are awkward.
Never. Kissing's awesome.
What about Friends? Have you ever watched Friends?
Most of them get with each other.
Exactly, and then they're like, oh, this is a bad idea. Remember?
When?
All the time. Like, every relationship was like that.
Dude, I think, like I said before, Jacob is so much better than Edward, so I am all for this. You can be all Team Edward. We can be our different sides. That's fine. You can be Team Garbage. That's totally fine with me.
I'm fine with that.
All right,
I agree.
Team
He is garbage. They're both garbage.
Jacob's less garbage.
What is that supposed to mean?
Jacob is like team.
Jacob is like the thrown out Doritos bag, and Edward is the stale diaper. They're both garbage, dude.
Yeah, but
would you really want to eat the Doritos?
If you can smell a Doritos bag, and that will smell good. You don't smell diaper.
I didn't say the Doritos bag was perfect and great condition. It's probably still got water and mildew and mosquito larvae on the inside, man. Okay?
Why is that all that in there?
It's garbage! What happens with garbage? You leave it out for 2 seconds, it becomes unsanitary.
We're fighting right now. We need to make up. This is a stupid argument.
Should I cry a little bit first?
Yes. Put your hands in your face and then cry.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so he's getting his face towards me, and I was still absolutely undecided. Like, she's going to do it, okay?
Is she though?
Yes. All day Bella does.
I think it was gonna be an accident.
So then we get this stupid I don't know, like that typical movie or like TV show thing where like something interrupts, the magical moment. Like, this is gonna be in the movie for sure, and it's just gonna be, I don't know, it's the same stupid thing. Basically, the phone rings and interrupts this. So, anyways, Jacob is the one that answers the phone. He never gives it to Bella, which is, I don't know, it's funny to me, but he freaks out though. Who's on the other end of the phone? Basically, the person on the other side of the phone is asking for Charlie. Charlie's not there because he's at the funeral, and then hangs up. And Jacob says, "Filthy bloodsucker." So we know it's got to be a colon on the other side of the phone line. Jacob says it's Carlisle, and we'll find out later whether or not it is actually Carlisle.
It's obviously not Carlisle. People have read this book already, dude. It's Edward!
You think anyone's listening to this podcast hasn't read the book before?
No.
You think we're
I'm pretty sure
ones? You're the only ones here?
Uh-huh. Because I'm pretty sure everybody that listens to this podcast just wants something more about Twilight because they're obsessing over it.
I feel like I always feel like I'm giving new information for some reason to the listeners. No
way.
I'm always
all know what's happening.
I know, that's so funny though. I always think I'm saying this and it's surprise, in your face.
No spoilers
These
here.
People are you're an idiot. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. That makes me feel weird now. I don't know if I like.
You should
that.
feel weird. You're pretty dumb.
So,
wrecked.
I don't know. Basically, Jacob ends up wanting to leave now after all this. He
They do that weird little awkward spill where they both get tangled in each other's legs somehow. I didn't understand how that happened.
It just says that, and then I ran into him as he rocked back on his heels. So I think he was going towards the front door, and Bella was what is, got his attention. And so then Jacob stopped on on a dime type of thing. So I think she just ran into him. Right. She was chasing after him and Jacob stopped all of a sudden. So he says he spun around again, knocking me sideways. So I don't know. Just
the whole time he's cussing though. He's like beep 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 beep.
So then this is when Alice comes out of nowhere, and says basically Alice has had a vision, and it's about Edward, and all Alice had to do was say his name, and then Bella all of a sudden just knows that something's up, something is wrong. Just the sound of the way that she says Edward is not good. So
not good, man.
Basically they're hey, we have to go. Alice is we got to get out of here, we got to go, and get Edward. So basically, what's going on is Edward thinks that he's the one that was on the phone. He called the house, and when Jacob answered the phone, like, basically Edward was like, "Hey, like, where's Charlie?" And then when Jacob said at a funeral, Edward thinks the funeral that Charlie is at is Bella's.
Right.
So, like, because before, they saw like Bella maybe dying, and so Edward is like convinced that like Bella did die, in fact. So,
well, he didn't know that. Only Alice and Jasper saw or knew that Bella was going to jump off a cliff. Nobody else knew that.
Well, Edward had to know something.
No, he didn't.
Because at funeral, like, he's not going to just be like, "Oh, Bella's dead." No, he's got to have some sort of information.
He only knows about the funeral because Rosalie tracked him down to tell him that.
Okay, so that's why he thinks it's Bella. So he did have some information.
About...
Just not from Alice.
No, it was from Rosalie. But
yeah.
What is it? Rosalie knew about the cliff jumping too, I guess. Crap, I forgot. Dang it. Oh well.
I think it goes like I think it goes into that a little bit later, like when we get on
next
the plane.
Page.
Yeah. So
it's literally the next page.
Basically, like, Edward is planning on going to Italy, to the Volterra. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And basically, he's going there to.
Oh, you didn't say it right. You have to say Volterra.
Volterra. He's going there. He's going there so they can kill him. He's basically committed suicide here because he has no reason to live anymore, apparently, because Bella's dead. It's like Romeo and Juliet, but Juliet's not actually dead, and it's just a whole mess.
It's all a scam.
Meanwhile, Paris. Jacob.
Oh.
In other words, is right here for the taking. Just let this guy commit suicide and move on. But anyways, so they're just trying to just like get out of here because they need to rush and try to stop Edward from doing this. This is when Rosalie is on the phone with Alice, and she's like, "Why? Why would you do that, Rosalie?" And we don't really know what's going on her end of the phone. Like, we don't know what Rosalie's saying to Alice at this point. But basically, what what's the word I'm looking for? Like, their conversation that they had was Rosalie told Edward that Bella killed herself.
Right.
Edward thinks that Bella is dead. This is when Edward called, and basically the funeral was Bella's funeral. That's the whole conversation, basically. Like, but Rosalie, in defense, like, actually thought that Bella was dead, so it wasn't like she was being Rosalie from, like, at least in the movie.
Well, it's not like she was doing him a favor, though. Yeah,
but like the first movie, remember, like, Rosalie was super cold. Yeah. Like, what? Like, I'm not gonna put this on. Like, I'm not gonna put the clothes on and help Bella. So it's not like she's trying to, like, I don't know. But she obviously doesn't want Edward to go and kill himself. So basically they're like, "Okay, we're gonna go to Italy," and Jacob's like, "No, like, don't go." You know what I mean? Because, like, don't, because they're basically like, Alice and Bella have a really good chance of dying in Italy from the Volterra. Like, they have, like, it's the percentage is fairly high. So Jacob doesn't want Bella to go, just trying to, like, help her and save her life. Then they bring up Charlie, and Bella's like, "Oh yeah, Charlie. Hey, Jacob." Like, and Jacob says, like, "I'm not gonna let anything happen to Charlie," but he's still, like, trying to get Bella to stay. And it's like, it's not hopeless. Working. It's not working. So
stop being such a loser.
Basically, Bella and Alice end up leaving. Jacob can't convince her But it sounds like Jacob's going to do whatever he can to protect Charlie from Victoria, because Victoria is still a threat. No idea where she's at this point, but
she's not even a threat.
They're like bringing her up. Like I seriously thought like we're gonna get some Victoria action here,
right?
Like
maybe we still gone.
We still have a couple chapters, but like this seems like this should be the next book or something. You know what I mean?
Probably,
like they should bring the Victoria thing right now. I don't know. It's so weird the direction they just like all of a sudden went. Stephanie Meyer is all over.
You know what it might be? They'll find Edward, save him. They'll come back during that same chapter. Victoria will be there with like Jacob and Chuck. She'll bite Bella again, and then Edward's gonna save her once more.
But they're not gonna show the fight because Bella will be unconscious.
Right.
It's like there's not enough chapters for there to be like all this information about a fight or something. Like Bella's gonna be knocked out cold again.
I hope so. I hope so. It'll end the book faster.
So she saw Edward go into the Volturi, asking to die. So basically, they make a decision to let them die or not. It's such a weird it's like a royalty. It's like going and asking the king, like basically, like, hey, like I want to die. Will you let me die? And so they make a decision. And if they say yes, then they'll happily destroy Edward. But if they say no, then like that could definitely help, because then they might actually get there in time. Edward will try to do something else though, which we find out. But there's just a lot going on. Like Edward is so dramatic. I don't know. It's kind of
drama's
stupid.
Boy.
All right, so they get the car, they drive to the airport, they're in the plane, and basically like all this time Alice is trying to see what Edward's next move is, just trying to see how much time they have, if they're going to make it in time. So they kind of go over, Bella kind of mentions why are just your connections so strong? Like how are you able to see so much like about like what Edward's going to do and all this stuff? Because if you remember from the first book, like with Bella and James and all that whole thing, like Alice didn't see like all that much really. She saw like the dance studio and like that was kind of it.
Little tiny snippets.
Yeah, so she just says that basically it's easier to see other vampires instead of humans. Like humans are harder than vampires. She's known Edward, you know, she's concentrating on it and all this stuff. So, but they go into more about the Volturi, so we get information about
Volturi.
There's there was 3 of them, and then like they brought in 2 girls and like yada yada yada. There's guards, so there's like basically there's like a kind of a big group of vampires.
There's a whole bunch of losers. That's what you're trying to say.
And yeah, so man, I'm just like feeling really burpy right now.
Must be the drink that you're drinking.
It is.
That drank you drunk.
Oh my goodness! Give me a second.
Go,
woo!
Let it out. Just let it out, man.
Oh
boy.
Anyways, all right.
What's going on? What is your deal,
I was
man?
just trying. I don't know. I was trying to like see what your reaction would be on that.
That's
one.
it. That's my reaction. What are you doing? What a waste of time.
The Volturi will they want talent. They're a group of really strong vampires. They will see people's abilities, and if you have like a really good ability, you know, like how a lot of these vampires, they have abilities. Like Edward can read people's thoughts.
Some can make really good hoagie sandwiches.
Oh, I love that guy. He's the best.
He is the best at making hoagie sandwiches.
They're kind of unique as well, because vampires usually are only in pairs. in couples. There's never usually like big groups or anything like that. So like for example, like the Colons are insanely unique. Like Tanya's family in Alaska, like that's super unique. That never happens. It's usually, a couple that roam and just live together, and that's it.
They're nomads and they're secluded.
Like the Volteri, there's Aro, Caius, and Marcus. That was the original 3. Apparently, they're thousands of years old. And like I said, they got 2 girls, so there's like 5 of them, and then like they got all these guards. So I don't think they ever say how many there are.
Apparently, they'll probably have more than 20 or 30.
There was 9 members of the guard that were permanent. So there's 5, 9, so 14, and then there's probably like some more. So it's a pretty good group. Like where they live in Italy is like their domain. So like if you go there, you're only trying to go there to cause trouble or like basically talk to them. Like I don't know. And they take it very seriously, like hunting and all this stuff. So you don't want to hunt there. Like to get food, they hunt like super far away and then they bring their food back. So like they don't hunt in their area at all. Like they're very strict about it. So
they have Vampoober services or host pyres, Vamp mates. There we go. Got it. Found it.
This is the worst. I don't care for this.
Am I fired?
Yeah, thinking about it. So Alice she's basically seeing what Edward's planning on doing. She sees Edward going up to the Volteri and asking them, "Hey, can I die?" Basically. Please, I want to die.
Can you kill me, please?
They actually end up declining it, saying, "Nope. We actually like your abilities." They like the fact that he can hear people's thoughts, and they're basically like, "Hey, you can join us." Like they're thinking about asking him to join and all this stuff. Like it's interesting.
Want to be a part of our vampire club? We have awesome vampire benefits.
We got free shirts. Do you want one?
Is that what they want? Every vampire needs a vampire shirt.
But basically, Edward is I don't think Edward's gonna go with this.
No, he wants to die.
He wants to die. Like this isn't what he wants. He doesn't want to be part of their cool club and all this stuff. So we find out that Edward's next plan is to basically tick off the Volteri so they end up killing him. Because obviously, like, he's not going to join them, so...
I want to die!
He wants to die, and he's going to tick him off. So he's going to... Basically, there's one rule that we find out here, which is kind of an obvious rule of all vampires, is keep the existence of vampires secret. That's the one rule of that vampires have. So Edward is planning on walking into the sunlight in a huge square and showing basically that he's got reflective skin.
Wow.
Now, if I was a person and I saw this, like the skin or whatever, I would not think vampire. That'd be not anywhere even in my mind if I saw this. Right, you wouldn't
even think much of it.
Like, I would think, wow, this is a cool trick. And then I'd throw money at him thinking he was trying to do some trick, performing a show.
It's like one of those metal guys that are just there. They pretend they're a statue.
Yeah, like you put something on his skin, like it reflects.
Next level.
Like, that's sweet. That's a cool trick. I would not think like, oh my gosh, this guy's a vampire. Like there's existence is.
The rumors are true.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of a stupid plan. Like it makes no sense. Like I would not think this at all.
Well, yeah. So, since when has Edward ever had a legit plan?
Ouchie mama! Get wrecked.
Ouch, mamma, Volturi. Ma spassi mitt bolla.
Look at my skin. It is so shiny.
You like a dive in the skin, boy. A vampire want to die. I tell you what, very much you will join my good club. Am I fired yet?
2 strikes. Don't make it a third.
All right,
And you're out.
go. We're on a roll. We're not even at the second chapter yet.
So Allison and Bella. No, we're in the second chapter. I forgot
are.
to say we're in the second chapter.
I stopped following
my
along.
fault.
I just started
That's
playing a
my
cell phone game.
Are you kidding me? That's 3 strikes, dude. You're 4 more strikes and you're out.
Oh,
Isn't that
dang!
how baseball works?
I
think
guess.
that's how baseball works.
I'm pretty sure that's how
7 strike.
baseball works. Yeah. 4 foul balls and you get a home run.
What a messed up sport.
What page are we on? Oh, that's
We
right.
are-
You don't have a book. You listen to your weird little ebook thing.
Don't be hating. Nerd. So Alice and Bella, they're trying to make up a plan to not let Edward go through with this skin nudity act.
Wait, what is he doing?
Wasn't he just going to strip naked, like streak through the square? Isn't that his plan?
Highly doubt he's going to go streaking.
Well,
If that's what
definitely
his
get
idea was,
attention.
that'd be way better than just like going into Times Square and showing off his shiny skin. I thought that just meant like his face. Like he'd just, have a short sleeve shirt on and he'd just be relying mostly on his face. That's all I thought he was going to do.
No, okay.
That'd be hilarious if he went like completely commando. Just
It's like
ripped everything off. He's like, this is what a vampire is.
It's probably like that.
Starts
parody
blinding
movie that you were
everybody.
talking about. That's what they were doing it. You're just like streaking it, yeah.
That'd be great. I would totally watch that.
I wouldn't. Are you kidding me? Edward naked? No thanks.
It'd be hilarious.
No, thank you. So their plan basically is if Alice sees Edward's automatically gonna run for it and expose himself. Only in the skin shining way of that word expose. Let's
Getting
keep it.
exposed.
Come on, people.
Hey, you picked that word, man. You can't blame them for thinking about it. You said exposed.
Well, it makes the word works, man.
It does work. That's why you can't blame them for thinking about it. It was a poor choice of words on your end.
Basically, Edward has to see Bella first thing. If he sees Bella, he's like, hey, Bella's not dead. Makes sense, right? But this is my problem. Why doesn't Alice just like put on her clothes or something and like run or something? But Edward's gonna smell it in it right away. You know what I mean?
Well, he'll
He's
also
like, oh
be
my
able to
gosh,
hear
Bella.
her thoughts coming like quicker than he'll see her.
That's true, but I just feel like Edward's gonna be able to smell her before he's gonna be able to see her. You know what I mean? I feel like you shouldn't really be focusing on like sight. I feel like you should be trying to get the smell of Bella, so that would, because I feel like that's the first thing Edward's gonna notice.
I guess.
If he smells Bella, he's gonna automatically be like, "Wait, what's going on?" You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Wait, Bella?" I think so, anyways. But
Maybe. I don't know. You think too highly of Edward. The dude's
I don't
just
think
like,
highly of Edward at all.
but you're still thinking high enough to be making poor judgment calls of his character. I think he's just going to be like super distracted and like trying to kill himself. She'll have to, basically what's going to happen is she's going to have to be like right in his face. He'll probably be like up high on the clock tower or whatever, and he's going to jump off, but he's not in danger of it, but he will be in danger of exposing himself and then like sicking the Volturi on him. The Volturi on him and the rest of his family and Bella. That's the only problem that they'll have. But anyways, it might be too late. By the time she actually shows him, look, I'm here. He'll be like,
Yeah.
it's too late, Bella. I've already been exposed.
They're racing against the clock here, trying to get there before noon,
The clock.
which was that tower that was the very beginning of the book. Finally
Can't
get
wait to
to
actually
it.
figure out what's going to happen.
I can't believe that it was just like randomly brought into this book at the end when we totally
Right.
thought it was going to be about Victoria.
2 planes and 3 pages later, we finally get to that one part.
Well, yeah,
It was
that's
so
true.
easy to get to.
But the one part on the plane, though, that just like one more thing I want to bring up about it was the fact that Alice is actually thinking about changing Bella into a vampire. Like, she was really thinking about it. And then Bella's like, oh my gosh, like, please do it. Like, I want to go through all this suffering and all this pain and become a vampire and end my life, basically. Like, I don't know. So she's like, oh, Alice, do it now. I can help you so much. Please, just do it. Bite me. Alice is like, you're stupid. Don't you remember that, like, the transformation takes a couple of days and you're going to be in pain the whole time? Like, we're not going to do it on a plane. Like, that would freak out other customers or, like, other, passengers. And we're going to be getting there tomorrow. Like, it's not going to happen. You're an idiot.
Yeah. I kind of need you right now, Bella.
So maybe later. Alice is actually, she's really thinking about it, though. So maybe that's what happens later. Maybe Alice is the one that actually transforms Bella. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I kind of doubt it too. I still think it's going to be like some stupid romantic thing with like Edward. Like, it's going to be like lying in bed and he's like, are you ready for this? And then he just like bites her or whatever and has her tied to the bed because she's going to freak out in pain. I don't know. It's going to be something stupid like that. So they get to Florence, but they need to be in Volterra. So how do they get there? They play a little bit of GTA 5, baby. Woo!
They get a Porsche.
Yeah.
They
steal a yellow Porsche.
Yeah, they didn't get any points for it. They didn't make any money. They didn't run over any grandma. It wasn't GTA 5, man. It was just GTA, okay?
Just GTA. Grand Theft Auto, baby. Yeah, they steal a car and they just take off to Volterra. Alice sees that there's some sort of festival going on, which is like even worse because there's going to be loads of people there to see Edward just walk into the sunlight. They find out what day it is. They're like, oh, wait, It's the 19th?
Oh, it's the vampire holiday.
There's a holiday going on here. That's why.
Duh. Very creative, Stephanie Meyer.
They kind of go over the plan one more time. They just say, hey, Alice, like Bella, you need to just, I'm gonna zoom you in as close as I can, and then you're gonna have to run the rest of the way to Edward, because if Edward knows that I'm there, it's gonna ruin a lot of things. So you're gonna have to try to save Edward on your own. So basically, don't pull a Bella and trip or fall or run into somebody or spike a volleyball that's going on in the parade at someone's head or something. Like, don't be typical Bella.
Good one.
So they're driving and they start to see
the city wall,
the ancient walls of Volterra. And that is the end of chapter 19, the end of the podcast.
If I had a kazoo, I would be playing it right now. In celebratory dance and style. Because we got through the 2 chapters in under an hour. That's like a record.
That is a record. And we went like 15 minutes at the beginning section, so, of our story time.
Yeah, you went 15 minutes with you and your stories.
These chapters were a little bit like the length of them was a lot more reasonable than some of the other ones in this book. So
yep. I actually got through reading the chapters without falling asleep. Pretty good.
Nice job. Pat yourself on the back.
I just did. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Oh, I thought about telling you that I wasn't recording right now, but then I figured, that won't be that funny. But
yeah, that would be definitely your 5th strike, and you'd have 2 more though. But
this is
that
true.
Would be a major.
I thought
strike.
It was 7 strikes.
Anyways, all right. So that's the end of the 2 chapters. Next week we'll be doing chapters 20 and 21. I'm assuming, basically prediction wise, I'm kind of assuming that Bella makes it there in time. Edward and Bella make out in happiness that Bella's alive.
Yeah. You know what though? Maybe Edward's gonna like shut her down. That'll be like a cool ending. He'll be like, "You're not worth it," and then she does go back to Jacob or something.
What? I'm confused. I don't think that's how it's gonna go down at all.
He actually takes up the Volturi on their offer, and then he has to start trying to kill Bella because she knows about the secret.
That's stupid. That's not gonna happen either.
Dang it. Stephanie Meyer had all this promise with the story she makes, but she constantly
she messes up.
Ruins it.
She messes up in the like what is it? What's like there's got to be like an actual word for it, but she messes up in like the finale. Like she messes up every time.
The climax?
The climax. There you go. The climax of the books. The first book, she messed up. She got to the part where it's like, oh, shoot. Like, James just freaking stomped on her leg and broke it in two.
Yeah.
Like, it was like...
brutal. It was awesome.
It was getting like, okay, this is going to be
holy crap.
sweet.
No one's ever stepped on a woman's leg and broke it. That's awesome.
Like, we're getting into the good stuff. And then all of a sudden, she's in a freaking hospital. And they're like, oh, yeah, we took care of him. Like, it was so stupid. Like,
good job.
And then this book, it was like, okay, Victoria, like, we're hunting Victoria. We're going to find her. We're going to protect you. We're going to get her.
Just kidding. Alice? Sidetracked.
Sorry. Yep. Oh, yep. We're going to Italy. Like, she's messing up. Like, this is so stupid. There's only a couple chapters left. There's no way you can get in enough information, enough, like, driven storyline for them to go and get Edward and then go back to Forks and fight Victoria in another 4 chapters. Like, I feel like that is... It's going to be so rushed, it's going to be stupid if that's what happens. So,
do you think she actually intended on it? Like, for some reason, like, her writing style, that she wanted it to be this way? Like, she was leading us on to think that it was going to go one way, and then all of a sudden, at the very end, complete change in direction. Complete different story.
It's a completely different story. It's like...
This whole time, we've been building up a relationship between her and a werewolf, and then the last 5 chapters of the book now are going to be about her trying to save the vampire.
Yeah, it's so
no
stupid.
Werewolf included.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Jacob is guaranteed to not have come. He has no money. He didn't, like, hitchhike or anything. He wasn't just hanging out in, like, the luggage or something. He's not in Italy. He's not there. And he's not going to hang out and fight and defend Bella against the Volturi or anything, you know? It's just not going to happen. So... yeah, she screwed up big time. Or was it intentional? That's I just can't. I want to ask her if she's listening. She's got to like send us an email or something. I just want to know that. We won't divulge any secrets, but I want to know. Holy crap! Was this intentional? Is there some kind of writing strategy? Is there a word that defines this weird technique of leading us on?
We haven't read the last 4 chapters, okay? So we don't know like what all is going to happen.
Well, I know there's a staircase.
The fact remains that she completely changes the story still. Like, that doesn't change. Like, no matter what happens the next couple of chapters, unless Jacob somehow, like, got into the plane as well and he is here in Italy, that's the only way that there's, like,
he's
an actual... I know he's
he
not.
No money.
I know he's not!
All mad. Strike 4! Holy crap! Is that a pan?
I know he's not in freaking Italy.
Is that a Jiffy Pop pan? What was that?
Wouldn't you like to know? You're never gonna know. I'm gonna keep the secret forever so that it kills you. You're gonna be you're gonna be up at night tonight. You're not gonna be able to go to bed. You're gonna be like, "What the freak was that?" I want to know so badly what that was.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna start a Twitter poll. You can do that nowadays. People will answer your questions for you. Okay?
You don't have Twitter.
You have Twitter. I'm gonna make you post a Twitter poll. What's the object Jason has? Is it A? Quick, cue the theme music.
Speaking of Twitter, to promote myself, noob_Jason. Check it out. Thank you. Anyways.
How many followers do you have? 2?
I have probably. I have no idea. Dude, Twitter is so much easier to use than Instagram. Instagram, you have to like put a picture, I think. And it's like, what am I even supposed to take a picture of? Like, Twitter, you can at least just say something stupid. Like Instagram, it's like, here's a twig. It's cool, isn't it? I named him Steve.
Steve the Twig.
Steve the Twig.
What does
Anyways,
Steve like to do at the end of the day after a long day's work of being a twig?
lie around. Rest.
Really? Does
He could be dead. He doesn't move much.
Does he stick it out? or does he branch off into other things? Or does he just leaf around?
That's 6 strikes. That was a bad joke. The other ones were good. That one was bad.
Leaf? Yeah, I couldn't really figure out how to say leaf.
Yeah, that was bad.
Leaf it be.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed these chapters today.
Yeah, me too. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Intentionally. With
The
all
insane twist of a story, the biggest changing of a completely different story in a book.
It was like ordering a milkshake at some fast food restaurant, and then they gave you lemonade.
Yeah.
You messed up my order, bro.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll hit you up next week. Like I said, I better see 2 new reviews or we're quitting.
We're done.
So
we're out of here.
If you don't hear from us next week, then you know what happened.
Yeah, we'll wait for those reviews.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for checking us out. We'll see you next time. This has been Twilight Noobs. I'm Jason.
And I'm Hot Potato Pan.
And make sure when you order a milkshake, you get your milkshake and not a lemonade.
Yeah, seriously. Stick that milkshake right, or that lemonade right back in their face and say, "I'm not taking this full."
But wait, is it raspberry lemonade? Then I'm taking it.